I took the nomad culture and horseman and ranger.
Okay.
I'm feeling my character would be more dislike of the civilization,
Right.
and want more. We should be free.
You are the right. Okay,
We
excellent.
don't want the
Keep
cities
that in mind.
and things like that.
Because keep that in mind, because we're going to be picking a few other things called primes and traits, and you get to express that very powerfully with mechanics.
Yes.
So that will make a big difference. If you are feeling that for your character already,
Yeah.
you're in good shape for your
really,
next step.
The first are like horses are more important.
Yeah.
We don't want the big cities and things like that. It should be.
Let's take a look first of all at the abilities that you will get for those. Can I borrow that just for a moment, Nate? Sorry, we don't have enough copies of this.
All right.
So for the nomad culture, there is no ability that you get right off, but you will get to pick one from Rogue and Wood.
Okay.
In a moment.
Cool.
And then also for the other one, which is horse something or other.
Horseman and ranger.
Right. Horseman is from the general.
Yeah, both of us.
Okay, perfect. So when we go to horseman, you will have the ability mounted combat style. So you should write that down right now. It's an ability. Mounted combat style, which is pretty self-explanatory, but we will look up the bonuses and things in a moment. What I think I'm going to do is go home and write down all the little tiny rules that goes with all these things. So each person gets your own custom packet.
Yes.
And that way we don't have to read and write all the crap of little bonuses. And
That would be very good.
And so then we have for ranger. Okay, wait, back to horseman. You also have another category, which is not an ability, called blood and blade, which is a good thing to have.
Ranger is farther down.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then here you will get to choose again from either blood and blade or rogue and wood, and then whichever one you don't have, you get to have.
Okay.
So you have both rogue and wood and blood and rogue and wood as well as blood and blade. So you should write both of them down.
Okay.
And so then you are allowed to get an ability from. You actually are allowed to pick 2 abilities from either of those that you want.
Either one of each or
and
2
then,
from one.
Wait. I have to go back here.
Which we can
I'm
take from
still
the nomad.
looking for horseman. Hold on. Horseman already gives you blood and blade. Okay, and you are going to get, since this gives you horseman gives you blood and blade, this one has to give you rogue and wood. Okay.
And what did nomad give?
And nomad doesn't give a specific. Oh, yes, it does. You can pick another one from either one.
Okay. So
you pick an ability.
One from each, and then one from either.
No, I will tell you in a moment.
Okay.
Right now, you're just writing things down. So we will have to go back and I need to go with each person too.
Yeah.
So then we will do one more thing with you. You will have a number of abilities as well. Let me quick check in case I missed something. From Ranger, there's no special ability. For Horseman, there is mounted combat style. Okay, good. So 1 and 2. You will be able to get abilities. Why don't I give you the list for abilities? This one here,
Still a beast.
you are allowed to pick. You already have mounted combat style. You can pick anything you want from the general one, except they have many things that are required.
Yeah.
So only if you really want.
Mm-hmm.
Rogue and Wood is here.
Yeah.
And where is Blood and Blade?
Up
here. Yeah. Blood and Blade, Rogue and Wood.
Mm-hmm.
So you would be best off just to pick one from here and one from there.
So one of each?
Yeah.
Okay.
And so then those are abilities that you have. Pick something that sounds right for your character. We also have to go back and do one other thing. How about your upbringing?
Skykeep Shaman, Archer, and Merchant.
Aha, okay.
So I'm thinking of myself as a wandering.
So let's do a couple of things. For Skykeep Shaman, write down these Knack, K-N-A-C-K, and Awareness. You also have, and then write a 2 somewhere. Where these are going to be they're called your skills.
Yeah.
And there are 10 of them, and there are 2 free ranks that you can put into skills 2.
Okay.
So you have a 1 in each of those, and then you have 2 more.
That's right.
Okay.
2 free ranks.
Yes. And then you have the ability shamanism
Yes.
and the category rogue and wood. Having a category doesn't give you anything in it automatically, but it means you are eligible to pick from there as we go along.
Yes.
When you get the opportunity. So then for Archer,
Jewman and
right, you get you have awareness and prowess for 1 more each, 1 of each for those, 2 more free
of that.
And then something called U-Man, which is Y-E-U.
Yeah,
Y-E-W. Okay. Okay. And
It's
then also
version
you get 2. Yeah. Then you have 2 experience points. And we will go and look at the ability for U-Man and for shamanism, which is going to be complicated, I'm sure.
Yeah, but then, should I have not rogue and wood? What do I have in that?
Nothing. That's my point. It is a category. When you get the chance to pick an ability, either here or by spending experience points later, you are eligible to look in rogue and wood.
Yeah.
I didn't go into the details, but she had steps along the way that said, go to your categories and pick.
Okay.
So that's why she gets to pick them.
And that's why I get to keep for Sky Keep Shaman.
Well, shamanism is an ability, not a category. So an ability actually gives you a rule that you can do. So then finally we have merchant. Okay, so then, yes, assets, 1, knack, 1, and will, 1, 1 free rank. Now you can pick from either rogue and wood or from
asset, knack, and what?
Oh, wit, W-I-T.
Yes.
And then now you get a new category, which is trade and sage. And now you may pick 1 ability from either rogue and wood or trade and sage. And so that
1 more ability. Then.
Yeah. So good. So you understand that you have 1 rank in each of those ones you wrote down.
Except for awareness, would have 2.
Yes, and now you have 2 free ranks.
And I have 5 free ranks.
5 free ranks. And let me give you the list of them so that you can see all 10, so you can decide where to put your various free things.
Yeah. Should we do the same for Camilla?
Yes, in a moment, yes. So I wanted to get together with Nate a little bit more first. And so, Nate, you have to pick, here are the Thracian upbringings.
I
here,
saw that Scythe had Ghost Friend on.
Yes, it does. Well, yes, but if you get an ability that you already have, then you get some experience points.
Okay.
Right. And also, and you don't have to pick that upbringing.
All right.
For example, you can pick other ones.
Yeah.
And so that's a particular status, the Ashhean. And so you don't have to take that if you don't want to.
Yeah.
And so if you do, then you would just get extra experience points because you already have Ghost Friend.
Yeah.
Okay. Then there are the others here as well, and then there are the general ones. So you will pick 3.
So these ones are the culture ones.
These here.
Yep.
And these, because it crosses the page.
Yeah.
And then here and on the rest of the next page.
These are general. What's in between here?
These are the ends times upbringings. That's when you make up a character after the game has gone into ends times.
Oh, right.
Because characters do die.
Yeah.
And you may well find yourself playing somebody new by that point. So now we have then you are picking, and we'll deal with your wits and stamina and things like that, wits and stuff in a moment. Right now, I want you to roll these 2. Oh, wait, you have your own dice.
Yes.
Roll 2 10-sided dice.
9 and 1.
Okay, so you now get to, don't pick yet, but you will get to, and this is the same for you. Yep. So write down your 2 numbers, and that can either be 19 or 91, as you choose. It depends on what you want between the 2. So let's do that 2 more times. And then, because they go with your upbringings, okay? And then that gives you things to choose 3 times. You can see what I mean about the time involved, but it's just kind of interesting. These are your character's life history now, personal.
This sounds kind of interesting.
So for your first, Camilla, you would be choosing between battle and conflict, or from 90 up, you reserve that one to share with someone else's background. So you would look at the other players' backgrounds and say, oh, that one is mine too. And then your characters have a shared history.
Okay.
So it's up to you to choose.
And the first one was?
Battle and conflict. You have a battle and war and fighting in your background. That was very important to you.
I think that will fit her.
Okay.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
That
You have
would
battle
be
and conflict.
Really cool.
Right? And you can associate that with any of your upbringings. You can put them in whatever order you want, but they do kind of go with one of them. Okay, so then the next numbers are 2 and 5, correct?
Yes.
They are either a broken heart or a local reputation where people would know who you are and care about who you are.
I think the second one in
Oh,
that case.
aha. Battle,
I don't
broken
like-
hearts. That's right. You don't like
No.
people, so who cares, right?
Yes, I don't think
Right.
Broken Heart will fit her very
It
well.
doesn't
so-
mean the reputation
Oh,
is good,
That's right.
right? It
So-
could be bad.
Correct. So you're taking the reputation.
Yes.
Okay. So then, yes, no romance for me.
No.
Okay. So then the next is 6 and 3.
Yes.
All right. So the first choice is that you failed or gave up, or someone else failed or gave up on you.
Okay.
And then 63. Problems of nobility or authority.
Yeah, probably yes.
Okay.
A lot of second choices.
Some kind of a crisis with authorities.
Problem with nobles.
Well, you don't have nobles in this culture, really.
No.
So say authority. Yeah.
Oh, I was
A
thinking
local
she had
chieftain or
problems
something.
with nobles of another culture.
Well, we already know you have problems with other cultures. That's a given. So
yeah, but I'm not sure I want her to have problem with her own authorities. What was the other one?
the other one was that somebody had failed or given up regarding you, or you failed or gave up on something.
I don't like that one. I take it.
Okay. Do you have your upbringings?
I need one more.
Okay, so while you're doing that, I'm waiting till you're done before we go to your numbers. But in the meanwhile, let's look at your numbers.
I rolled a 1 and a 10.
Okay. That would be a 0.
Yes.
Correct? Okay, so 1 is a debt.
Okay.
You or someone close to you
Oh,
owes money, or maybe they owe you, someone owes you something.
Yeah. It's a debt.
But there's a debt that's important to your character. Or the alternative is a great risk taken. Somebody took a risk for some reason. It had consequences of some kind.
Yeah.
What was it? Who was it? It might be you. It might be someone else about you.
Yes. I would take number 2.
Okay,
Risk taken.
risk.
Sounded
What
more-
is the next?
8 and a 9.
Okay. So the one with the 98,
Mhm.
that's the one where you can share with somebody else, a background with someone else.
Mhm.
And that's literally sharing that background
Yeah.
with someone else in the group. And so it's a way to create ties. There's a 10% chance of getting a tie with
Yeah,
somebody,
yeah.
basically. And then the other one is an utter tragedy, the darkest of happenings. You either lost something or you gained strength or both.
I will wait to choose that
Okay,
when I know
yeah.
his
Okay.
background.
Sure.
Some think about tying.
Yeah, it's a good choice for somebody
Yeah.
to do it. And then what is the third pair?
1 and 8.
Okay.
I rolled really weird.
Yeah, that's okay. One is that 81 says superstition, religious or otherwise. You are superstitious. Has it brought you comfort, or does it show that fear is driving you? And then the alternative to that is anger and hatred,
Yeah. Yep.
the most raw and possible pure emotions. So
Number
it
2.
may be long ago, or it
Yeah,
may be
I'm-
fierce, or both.
Yeah.